It is Saturday and I am on coffee number 2 of the day, and yeah, it's like 4 p.m. I don't know. I'm all messed up today because I was shooting a broadcast last night. Got home at like 11 and I don't know, somehow ended up staying up till 1 even though I was exhausted. Anyways, definitely I'm going to show you guys some BTS of that, kind of the setups. It was something totally different that I've never done before and had a really good time with it. I was a little nervous going into it because I had never been in this like broadcast setting. I had done a live stream of an event before where I was a gimbal op running around for like a corporate gala, and so I had a little bit of knowledge of kind of like what it's like to have like a director like calling your shots and putting you on live and all that. So that was a little bit comforting, but I just, I never worked one of these cameras before, never used a servo before. So I was like, let's make sure we get there early to figure that out. So check it out. So I'm heading out to a job where I'm going to camera op a live volleyball game. I'm going to be basically up in the corner on a Sony XD cam, I guess, with a servo and just punching in those like hero shots of a player that gets a kill or a block or makes a play, and then grabbing crowd shots to show like the arena environment. This job was referred to me by David Moorfield, buddy of mine in Orlando. He's already out of town doing bigger and better things, so he threw it my way and it ended up working out with my schedule too. So this job, in a full transparency, isn't the highest rate job that I've ever done, but I grew up playing volleyball, so I was like, oh, that could be super fun. And I've never worked on, I've actually never been on a live broadcast except for like live streaming where I was a gimbal op for like a corporate gala event. But in the sports environment like this, I've never done this. So kind of like probably I'm overthinking it a little bit, but I'm getting there extra early. There's like 2 hours before the game time starts, so I can get up in my spot on my camera, make sure I'm like, solid with it, and practice with the servo a little bit, and just make sure I have time to like touch base with everybody. And also, I want to do that too because if I have to troubleshoot during the game, like I would like to be comfortable with like my setup and have time to know what could be some quick fixes if there are issues. And that's something that you never know when you're gonna have to do that, so it's always good to just be prepared. So yeah, this is cool. Like rolling up, I literally have no gear, just like my backpack with a water bottle, and yeah, see how it goes. So this is the couple cameras in the back near the center shot that they were getting, and I walked over to my camera over here, which was camera 2, which was like a high corner type angle, and they set me up over here with the servo, and I look at this thing and I'm like, well, time to figure this out. But it ended up being super fun, great learning experience. So this is me playing with the servo, trying to figure out the feel for it, and it ended up being super simple, just speed adjustment and zooming in and out basically. There's a lot of reach. So we also had mics, which you'll see right here. That's me with the headset on so we can communicate. And then they started doing things in the stadium, and we were getting during ready. The national anthem, when they were getting all ready, we were double checking our comms, making sure everything's good, feeds were good. And then during the game, I didn't grab too much BTS because I was trying to focus and not screw this up. And you kind of have to be grabbing shots the whole time so that the director producer can pick from the available angles during the live broadcast. And during that, he would call out, like, for example, I was camera 2, he'd be like, camera 2, stand by, and that meant that my shot was going to come up soon on the live broadcast, and he wanted me to stick with what I had. So I would try to hold or track the player I was tracking, or keep my shot pulled in on the coach or ref or whatever I was filming, and then he'd say camera 2 is hot, and then he'd jump over to camera 2, and that meant that my feed was live during the broadcast. So that was kind of cool. And basically, just for me, it just kind of became like a game of how many good shots can I find and how much can I make him want to use my shots for the live broadcast. Obviously, he wouldn't use my shots for all of them, for the whole feed, but it was cool. It was always like a good feeling when he's like, all right, camera 2, stand by. I'm like, yes, found a good shot. So it was super fun. I love volleyball too. I grew up playing volleyball, so I had a good time. So this is the camera I was looking at when the game wrapped up, and it was like, wow, that's gotta be pretty expensive. Anyways, we helped them pack up after the game was over. They said, great job. It went really well. They had all this gear, and then it was time to head out and head home. And I felt like it was a successful night for sure. So thank you, David, for referring that. That was super fun. I would definitely do that again. So after doing this job, I totally would recommend, like, if you get the chance to like step outside of what you normally work in, which for me is the corporate, like, branding, marketing type work, A, you'll meet people, B, you'll learn a lot, and C, you might even like have fun with it. So actually got invited to be an on-site editor for a corporate event, which is also something I've never done before. But if you're just transparent up front, you're like, hey, like, no, I haven't done this before, but I do know how to edit, and I think I could handle like the corporate needs for like an event recap, and just go for it, just try. The worst thing that could happen is like maybe it doesn't go well and you learn a lot. Like maybe this is way more than you ever want to get into, or you know, it could even just be so easy that you're like, I want to do this more. A lot of my peers that I meet or new connections I make in the production world always ask, how much are you booked? Like, how many days are you booked a month? And I just wanted to offer a little bit of insight into that. January compared to last year was really busy for me this year. I probably shot like half the month. February, slower, probably shooting 3-4 days this month. March, not many days left to book. It's gonna be a really busy month. So for me, I'd kind of do the balance between the production company stuff and the freelancer stuff, right? So it's not really about how many days on my calendar can I fill, and actually I can't afford to book every single day on my calendar every month to be out shooting. Nor do I really want to do that. I need time at my computer to take calls, do all the admin work, collaborate with my editors, and talk to my clients. Like, if I was out shooting every single day, that stuff would pile up so high, I'd start dropping the ball everywhere. So when you're a production company and you handle everything, you take on more work, of course, outside of that shoot date, but it does add more revenue, and you can charge more for your projects typically, and that takes kind of that pressure off of you of having to book out as many days as possible, and then sitting around and thinking, oh man, I'm not out shooting today, like today's a fail. It's not a fail, I'm always working on something else, even if I'm not shooting. I still get up, I set an alarm, even if I don't have a shoot, I get up, I work on something, whether it's admin, marketing. I could be working on my camera and trying to make that more efficient, which that's really nice actually when I get a chance to actually work on that. I end up a lot of the times getting my schedule filled up doing other stuff. You also can't forget to take some time for yourself, of course, but in terms of the workload, it's not how many days I can book every month. Shooting, that would be more of the people that are fully freelancing, because the more days they can book per month, the more money they can make. On the production side of things, it's a little bit different. It's more about finding the right clients with the right budgets and the right types of projects that you want to work with that allow you to run your business, be efficient, be profitable, and keep growing. I guess as an example for that, I could freelance, say, for $1,000 a day for 10 days in a month, and I could make $10,000, right? Or I could sell like a branding testimonial type package to a client where we're gonna come out, make a great brand video or company overview video along with a couple testimonials, make, X deliverables for it for $10,000, and I might only shoot 1 or 2 days that month, but I'd have the same revenue though. So that's a very simple example of what I mean by it's not about me booking every single day. So there's not necessarily one way or the other that's easier. It's just a different mindset and a different way of running your business and a different way of looking at your schedule and your calendar every day, every week, every month. So just wanted to share that with you guys because I do get asked that quite a bit. So I'm going to try to take you guys along for a shoot next week as well. It's a French production company. Found me on Google or somewhere actually. The guy that hired me didn't exactly know where his talent sourcing team found me. But he did submit a contact form through my website, so I'm assuming that they just found my website Googling Orlando video production or something like that. I want to talk through some budget things with that shoot as well, because it is a really simple one, and I want you guys to know how I think when a client asks, is this enough for you? Is this budget gonna work for you? And how I responded in that scenario. So stay tuned for that one and get out there, friends.